Like, it has to have a privilege acknowledged.
Well, why specifically?
No, I'm not into it.
She's like that, you were the first person that she like, yeah, and then like she was also concerned because you're extremely racist.
No, I don't, I like him. No, and obviously it's an academic recommendation, but at the same time, I feel like I don't know your really performing ability at all. I just, know you're in the classroom setting and then,
And then you kind of went into like what you expect.
Well, right.
And like what that means. Thank you so much.
Right. Like that ain't like me.
But okay, just emailing you.
Okay.
Did you get my email
Acceptable.
Well, not like acceptable, like, this is good, we should use it.
last week?
Although he did
No,
kind of
last week was a date that I
Or like,
found
that's the only true one.
I thought,
Really?
Or like one that you say, like, don't.
I feel like you could use that for like.
I was on the same page.
What's your email address?
Right, but you're calling someone that because they're acting like a privileged white dude. What's this?
No, Sarah,
The connotation is
CLERAYU.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is this specifically dudes?
CLERYU. I didn't get
Is
it.
there a equivalent?
I don't know.
Is that an interest?
I mean, you could use it or right. Please don't.
Yeah.
Check.
I found out.
So you tried to question?
It's just kind of stupid because like I got a call from the health center asking
I was thinking about it.
You should bring that into your.
which I really needed like
I want to,
starting
but
last week, and then the earliest I could get it is December 2nd. My nurse is on vacation, and that's the day of nursing. So I'm like, so I have to get it. I have to get something.
You have to go.
So now I'm just I have to find because they're on a vacation. So I decided yesterday that I have to watch her, but then honestly, I don't know.
Because there's some, I don't know, there's a few people saying like more than that's what you
Covered by insurance, even if it's
I don't know
okay.
if the life insurance. I can ask. I know some research professors well, like occupational therapists specifically work
Exploring more
with musicians.
So
You know, they understand what we're doing.
Really good, desperate.
I would look for the insurance, but the problem is a lot of those things too, though.
Right.
I'm sure they have a lot of opportunities. I'm just trying to do a lot of like full remedies.
She's about to
So that was,
watching the class and just sliced it all the way down. And it happened to be she like the closest emergency room just been crazy. There happened to be the surgeon on call was not a great hospital, which was like one of the better hospitals in the area. So he like did a fantastic job. But she went to a therapist basically.
And they can actually mark out anyone below them. However,
I don't see any kind of insurance or how long it takes to get into them. So you're still trying to do your severance.
and I got another struggle to play some of myself, like I have one where it's called so, I mean, I'm just,
You know,
I don't know, a little desperate right now, like, I'm very much desperate.
Yeah.
To
But
I don't know, like
I don't
money
know.
understand what
Okay, so whatever, it's about this like guy who sells his art. It's better like it's like a guy who's not learning and he's like around the streets and decides to stack.
I got a new brace. Yeah, this one actually covers my thumb. Which I needed more support on my thumb and this muscle right here instead of my wrist. Yeah. And so probably I did my legs and then I'm sure I actually have a
And it is big work.
I know I should have.
Oh, just don't run.
Yeah.
I think I
Exactly.
was just gonna do that.
You know, like, it's like, why don't you just not get work? You know what I mean? It's, I know.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Since I can't really see, I'm sorry about my hands are like, I'm ready.
The way I originally had it.
Yeah, I would and so I don't know how good or okay.
Yeah, so you went over this.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait, did you require a chart?
No, all right, let me get these back to whoever's here. And so basically these, your ambiguity, it's just check off, you know, the harmonic and the rhythmic. So as long as you, yes. Yeah, and I might have made a comment or two, but I hope you enjoyed going on the treasure hunt for it and clearing. You know,
That should be every paper quiz then.
That should be the subtitle to every single paper. I was at the paper.
Or is that just hanging out?
Yeah.
No, that's just hanging out. Leanna's not here today. Kyogi. Yeah.
That could be like
Well, so
something and then or something.
Learn from love. Practice. No, this is no one to you. Or does it? And purpose.
In case the marking's ambiguous, that's not like a reverse check minus.
Oh, it's like indicates
H dash check,
Okay.
R dash check.
Okay.
So I was doing it. I was doing it like this looks like everyone's gonna ask me if this is a check minus. It was like that first week I like underlined check
Right.
marks.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, basically those I think everyone found some nice examples. Some maybe more definitive than others, but for the most part, good. Some nice examples of rhythmic ambiguity, being responsible for cool stuff, and some nice harmonic things. Some of the harmonic ones were very local. Some people talking specifically about pitch. Some kind of a global level. Some about the chord. So I thought it was good. Lots of different types. That was the point. All right. So I thought to start with, we would do this. Yes. No. All right. grab one of those and pass it around. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Makes sense. Ow.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, good.
What's that?
Are we supposed to identify the result?
Yeah. Okay. So, as these are coming around, and we're going to kind of do this as a kind of as a group, but yet I want to make sure everyone's doing it and not just figure out. So, the game here is based on the key signature, figuring out the most logical chord for the, based on the key, and then resolving it properly. Now the first 6 I've labeled the key, the last 6 I have not labeled the key, so you're going to try to guess what would be the most logical guess out of the 2 keys as well. Why doesn't everyone take a minute and try to do the first line? And I mean, frankly, I guess if you start to charge forward, so the first 3.
Just identification.
Try to identify the chord and resolve it properly. So take a minute and see, let's take, I don't know, when you're done with the first 3, put your pencil down. We're gonna go waiter style. I'll know when you're ready, when your menu is on the table. first line. Just first three. First system. How are you doing? How many people have 2 out of 3? People have at least 1 out of 3. Anyone have none of them? All right. So let's start to unravel these. So the first one, we are in D major, and who has the first one? Everybody thinks they have the first one. Raise your hand. Let's see here. Go ahead. What's the chord? Italian 6. Okay, very good. So indeed, this is an Italian 6. Italian sharp 6. So right away, we can see the augmented 6th interval. The B flat to the G sharp. There's the augmented 6 existing. Okay. So, oh wait, it's not Italian. I'm writing this down. You're wrong. Sorry. I forgot which one I did where, and I just answered without looking. It's not either. But I'm looking. First of all, we do have the augmented 6 interval, so very good. But it's not Italian. It's somebody else. It's not German. It's French. It's French augmented 6. And here's what we see. We see the augmented 6 interval. There's the tonic note of the key. Okay. So here's your, if you will, your 4/6 chord with the raised root. And then we also have the whole step above the tonic note of the key. That's going to make it French. The trick here is take out the note that's creating the augmented 6th above the bass. Take out that accidental, and what chord do you have? Still got the E there.
Yeah, right.
Identify. It's an E half diminished 7th, which in the key of D is going to exist as 2 half diminished 4/3, which if we are in D major is mode mixture already. But it's a 2 half diminished 4/3. If the chord is 2 half diminished 4/3, that's the French. Okay, when it's there. Remember that. French is the 2/4/3 with a raised third. Italian is a 4/6 with a raised root. German is a 4/6/5 with a raised root. So, all right. And what you really have is of the scale, flat 6 in the bass with an augmented 6 above. Okay. The next one, this one's not so bad. Who's got this one? I'm looking just to spread the wealth today. Jin Hyung, what you have your hand up. What chord do we have?
5, 6, 5, 4.
Oh, good, a 5, 6, 5, 4. And actually, you know what? My intention here was to write these in, and then I forgot. So here's our A here, resolving down. I forgot to resolve these. There's our A, resolving the G sharp upward. Okay. And then with the other voices, I mean, assuming this is probably going to go to a 5, we're going to keep the common tone there, the upper voice, and this is going to come down. I'm just going to go like this to our C sharp. Okay.
Because it's also 1/6/4.
It can resolve to a 1/6/4 as well. This one can go straight to the 5. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to put that in. And again, the biggest thing with the augmented 6 intervals. Open by opposite directions to the double root of 5. In this case, you have a common tone of the E. Bring this one down to the C sharp. Okay. If it were to go to the 1/6/4 first, then the D simply stays. Okay. Come on. Do this. Pop this down here. Let that exist as there's our D. Okay, which is going to eventually resolve down. Okay, and here. This is going to be our F sharp that would come down. So that 1/6/4, remember 1/6/4 is very much a function of 5. And in this case, what's working, how the 1/6/4 is working, the D is working like a suspension that then resolves down, and the F sharp is just working like an accented upper neighbor. So it can also go to that. But again, the most common thing to see with the French 6 is just have it resolve directly to Okay, so Jim Young just told us this was 565 of 4. Okay, and again, we're seeing what would be the tonic triad, or what would be a chord built off of the tonic note, presenting as a dominant seventh. 99.9999999% of the time, that's going to be some kind of 5 of 4, secondary dominant of 4. So how am I going to resolve this? Somebody, anybody? Mike, Brendan?
I put the bass as an F.
Okay, that bass is going to come up. Should always come up to the F. You know, that's the local leading tone. It's going to come up. Realize that when we say the word always, that doesn't always mean always, but it means most of the time. Always and never are very, very dangerous words. But they do mean most of the time. Okay? So local leading tone is going to come up, in the outer voice is going to come up.
Yep. So tenor stays the C, and then the alto and soprano down a step.
Good. So the tenor will stay our C, common tone. Here, the important thing with the B flat, that's the 7th of the chord. Got to resolve down by step. 7ths always want to resolve down by step. And here we're going to a root position, so it would be very best of us to double the root of that chord. Okay. There we are. Okay. Chord number 3. A little more weirder. Who's got it? Still looking for some. Joby, what do you got? Okay, Neapolitan. It is, right? It's a flat 2. We're in E major. What? This is great. It's perfect. What's the inversion, though? Yeah, 6/4. So is that weird? Kind of weird, right? That's not how we normally see it. We normally see it in first inversion. Again, we've seen it in root position. We saw it in 2 different Chopin pieces in root position. Did the function of the chord change? No. It was still predominant. Now, have we ever seen it in second inversion? Yes, like 25 minutes ago. We just saw it in the Beethoven, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So if I'm going to resolve this, I said the function doesn't change. The function's not going to change here either. What is the function of a Neapolitan chord? It's predominant, just like a 2. It's still a 2. You know, we put these fancy, French, Neapolitan, they're predominant chords. It's still a 2. A 2 is a 2 is a 2 is a 2 is a 2. And it sets up the 5. So how do you think this particular one is going to end up resolving? What do we think? It's a little bit strange, right? So if we go from the C, we're going to go into the B. Okay. And then what do you think this A would do? What if I'm going to go to a 5? You asked an interesting, or you pose an interesting question. We could possibly go to 5/7, or we could go to 5. I'm probably going to do the same thing with this note either way. In this case, yes.
Here, bump it to that D. Go right.
From the A?
Yeah, because I wanted to keep the soprano and alto
Why,
kind of the same.
why don't I want to go to the D from that A?
Where is it?
You gotta from A to D sharp.
If I go up to D sharp, the D is a D sharp.
Yeah.
Now, so sometimes, like, I'm like, you know, a real sticker, like, not a D, it's a D sharp. Like, when you say, oh, D sharp, if I go up to this D sharp, like this, that's an augmented 4th. You want to avoid augmented intervals. So that's not what we're looking for. So maybe what might be better to do with that A?
Bring it up to the B again.
Yeah. Possible to bring it up to this B. What am I going to do with the other things? Well, let's do this. Let me put that there for a minute. And let me put this here. What is occurring? Okay. This is actually going to be an F sharp. Now, there's something that's actually technically problematic about what's up here. One thing might look weird, but it's perfectly fine in what should happen in the Neapolitan. In a Neapolitan, the flat 2 should